All right. We're back. So, Sandy, Paula. Voices of Heroes. We want to talk to everybody, anybody. We don't care. We thought this episode we could just go into a little bit about like expectations and what you're going to do when you get out of class, whether it's EMT, paramedic class, whatever, even out of the fire service. There's a lot that's going to happen in a short amount of time for you to be on that ambulance or on that fire truck. So we just want to go into it a little bit. Paula's, I'm telling y'all, this woman is, you're going to learn a lot from Paula, okay?
Just experience.
Yeah. 2,000 years. Well, between her and her husband, it might be close to that.
If you count my
Yeah. But she's one of the good ones. It's not the one that just did it for a job or make the money. She actually gives a crap. Because you're going to run into those
people. You're not going to make much money.
No. A lot of people, like we said, have second jobs, third jobs, businesses. I mean, it's just sad, but it's a way of life at this point because there's not a lot of money in it.
There's not.
I mean, we do have a friend that's done well for herself. That's a doctor, but
yeah.
I mean, you got to think about what all she had to go through to get to that point.
Yeah.
She started as an EMT. Yeah, she started as an EMT. She's a great medic, and I hear she's an amazing doctor. So
doesn't surprise me.
We're gonna try to get her to come on because I think that'll be
Me too.
I think that'll be
Yeah,
good.
I like.
Yeah, she's great. She's good people. So let's start with we want to kind of start at the beginning. So say you signed up for whether it's a recruit class for the firehouse or EMT class, paramedic class. You're already in EMT, going to paramedic class, and some nurses actually transition over and become medics too.
Which I don't understand.
I don't even.
They make a lot more money as a nurse.
There's a lot of them that do it.
I know.
Maybe it's just for the certification, or just in case, maybe.
Maybe they're just adrenaline junkies and they want to drive the back of the name.
Yeah, which we do. It's a good time.
Yep.
We won't talk about Erin's driving right now.
No.
We'll wait till she comes on. Erin, get you there.
She will.
But you ain't gonna hit your butt's not gonna hit the seat until you get
it's
there.
Not gonna stay there. You might get a couple licks in, but it's not gonna stay there.
Right. We'll have to when we get into different stuff. I'll have to tell you the story about me and Susan jumping the run with Derek and Joe.
Oh god.
One night. Oh man, it was bad. I'll have to get Susan. We're gonna have to get them to come on. So okay, back to the topic here. So fresh out of class.
Okay.
Because it's long, it's tiring, but it's worth it. Once you get that certification and you pass, it's totally worth everything you go through to get there. And some people take classes that are rapid. I mean, it might take 6 weeks. It might take 6 months.
Right.
You know, it could take you a year. Who knows? But if you want it bad enough, don't give up. So you come out of class and you get, we'll start EMT wise. First place you work, okay? Whether they put you through class and you've done a little ride time, or you're just fresh and you just go there to work. You're going to have to learn their ways. It's not going to be the things that you read in a book. It's not going to be things that you did practicals in class. You're going to have to learn for yourself what works for you, what works for your partner, and how to coexist in a small place because you're with each other a lot.
A lot.
A whole lot. And even if your place doesn't do 6, 7 runs in a whole shift, you might have 5 of those runs where you just don't know. Or you could be like us and hit records and do 15 runs in a 24-hour period or something. Because that happens too.
You also learn to live sleep deprived.
Yep. And those cots are not comfortable to sleep on. The bench seat is not comfortable to sleep on. But
you do it.
You do. And then, you make good friends that you are friends with for years. And they're family. They're not really your friends anymore. So,
I only have one friend that's not EMS. Tammy.
Yeah.
She's been my best friend since I was in 7th grade. So,
I've been lucky. I have one that Susie and I've been friends for a long time, but she's a nurse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're going to have friends that you're going to have forever, especially if you work that closely with them. I mean, Paula and Erin and me and Susan worked the same times. So the 4 of us were always into something, whether it's watching American Idol or Yeah, I mean, we did a lot together. We
We
ate
did.
together. We all slept in the same little area with the
The
TV.
bedroom with
Yeah.
the TV and the third floor bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was lifelong friend. She's family. That's just the way it is. So you got to get into a routine. Say you're working 10-hour shifts, which is fine. 24s is what we prefer because, I mean, you get it done and over with and you got built-in overtime.
Yeah.
I
I like my 12s.
Yeah.
I'm a little old for 24s, but I can do it.
but you could do it.
I do it sometimes.
Let's see. When you first come out, you get in that ambulance, don't think you know everything because you learn something every day. And if you don't learn something every day, something's wrong because if something is always changing.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee you, I can tell you stories from when I was 18 years old that stuff doesn't happen anymore.
No. We don't even use the same equipment anymore.
No.
And I still learn every day.
Yeah.
Like, I always joke and say, I learned something new today. It's time to go home.
Yeah. I mean, and be open to learning.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, I'm closed off. This is what I learned in class, and this is the way it's
Right.
going to be, because it's not.
It's definitely not.
There's going to be a lot of stuff that may come from class, but there's a lot of things you're going to have to navigate and figure out, from one run to the next, or from partner to partner. You may not have the same partner every time.
No.
Luckily, we were lucky enough that we did.
Right.
Don't give up. Don't go to one and be like, oh,
This is not for me.
this is, if it's not for you, you better learn that in class, because you can't slack when somebody's life's
No.
hanging in the balance. You just can't.
You have to be on your game.
Yes, every time.
Yep.
And you're not going to see the same thing twice.
No. Definitely not. You're
Ever.
not going to have the same day, 2 days, ever.
Ever. And I'm saying 30 years of fire EMS. No, I don't think I ever had 2 runs the same.
No.
Even 2 different church fires, they were not the same. I mean, it doesn't happen. Just make sure. My only thing is, I don't care how many people you come in contact with, when you are treating a patient, treat them like they're your family. Because
Exactly.
you would not want someone to treat your family bad. Don't treat their family bad.
Exactly.
And
you learn
even
a
if
lot.
it-
You learn a lot from
Yeah.
people.
absolutely,
Like
just
small
listen.
talk.
Yeah,
Like small talk. You don't really care how many kids they have or what they did for a living.
but they might enjoy having that conversation.
It eases their anxiety.
Yeah.
You learn a lot.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot. You meet some amazing people.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can tell you stories of people that I see today, and they're like, "Do you remember me? You
Mhm.
helped my grandma,"
Right.
or and it's humbling because I mean we see a lot of
Yeah.
people.
I promise I don't ever remember them.
I may not remember their names, but I do remember faces. But they remember us.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell you, if I have to have anybody come in my house to help me with somebody, if I could pick them, this one over here, because she treats you the way you should be treated. Don't ever talk down to somebody or raise
It's
your
not worth
voice at them. If they can't hear, you gotta talk up. Don't scream at them.
Right.
It just frustrates them, frustrates the family. And I know you're frustrated because,
Can't hear.
yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if they don't speak if they don't speak English, I remember us having that guy,
Yeah.
and he was trying to tell us, and none of us could
Yeah.
understand.
This was pre-Google Translate.
Yeah, I don't even think our phones did much of anything back then, but I mean, you, me, Aaron, and Susan all were standing there looking at each other because we had no
Yeah,
idea what
no
to do.
clue.
And they got frustrated. Now, I mean, you can pull an app up and be
Yeah.
like, hey, talk into my phone.
Right.
Couldn't do that back then. You have to try to navigate every situation. Be aware of your surroundings, who's around, because you never know. Something's going to happen. If you're in the middle of the road doing an extrication, cars may still come through there. You have to be aware of what's going on around you. Paramedic-wise, what do they got to look forward to when they come out of class?
What do they have to look forward to?
Yeah.
Long days. Long shifts.
Well, you figure that's already long because
Yeah.
y'all went through class. I mean, there's
Yeah, but
probably-
some of them are like I went to EMT school a very long time ago and worked part-time at a small ambulance service, very small ambulance service that basically did transfers, nursing homes. But back then, you had to have 2 years of private service before you could even apply at Jefferson County EMS or the city of Louisville. So that's what I did while I was in college. I went back home and worked every weekend. But I didn't have much experience in the 911 service.
Right.
I had a great bedside manner from, just transporting elderly people. And even if they have dementia, they're still fun to talk to.
Yeah.
Like,
because they pretty much remember when they were younger.
They remember, back in the 1920s.
And to me, that's cool.
Yeah. If you think about it, a lot of the older population, not so much now, but when I was a baby paramedic, they didn't have electricity when they were little. No TVs. They went from, no electricity, little candles to electricity, and now smartphones and smart TVs
And actually, even still today, some of the older people don't have all that stuff.
Right.
They're like, no, I'm set in my ways, and I don't use all that stuff. So.
Well, I can't operate a smartphone.
No.
No.
My dad doesn't do too bad, but
Yeah.
my grandma had a phone.
Yeah.
But it was a flip phone.
Yeah.
So that's what she wanted.
I remember the phone on the wall with the dial.
Where you put,
Had like 800 feet of cord and it went all over the house.
Yeah, you used to walk all over the house
Yeah.
talking on the phone.
Yeah,
Me
that
too.
Curly cord drove me crazy when it was miscurled.
Right.
Straightened it all
Oh,
out.
that's so funny. Yeah, I remember those too.
So what do paramedics have to look forward to? They have to look forward to things not going the way the book told them it was going to go. You'll see the heart do things that they told you the heart cannot do, which it can indeed do what it wants to do. You have to have really good critical thinking skills. Like, critical thinking skills have to be on their game.
Right.
Because, they might dispatch you on a headache and you're prepared for the headache, and then you get there and they got a cerebral aneurysm and now they're unconscious and seizing, and that's, you prepared for a headache and now you have to flip the script and be ready for an active seizure, or, things don't go the way they're supposed to. And sometimes, even after 33 years, I have runs that don't go the way I want them to go.
Right.
Sometimes I can't hit an IV to save my own life, let alone somebody else's.
There's going to be days then like
Yeah,
that.
there's just days where things just don't go your way.
Don't get frustrated because something doesn't go your way, because you can always turn it around.
Right.
But like she said, you may get one call for one thing and it's something
It's totally different.
So what about talking about flipping the script. So you go in on your headache. What equipment would you take in versus what you would need if it changed? Have to go back out and get it. Or would you take something?
I always take, I call it the go bag. It's got, the glucometer, Narcan. I always have the Narcan.
Right.
Just the essentials. And I always take the monitor, just because you never know, especially nowadays with 12-lead capabilities. Somebody that's, just dizzy or even has a headache, could be a STEMI.
Right.
Could be, a dysrhythmia. I always take the monitor unless it's like a patient assist. But I've even had those be full arrest, so you can't really trust what you're dispatched
Right.
on. Even nowadays with computer and dispatch, it just doesn't work that well.
But it's a good practice to get into
Right.
to take these things and.
Right. When I was at Metro, we had to take the stretcher to the door with all the equipment on the stretcher.
That's why we did it all the time.
Right. I just don't like to be caught with my pants down, so I never go in without something in my hand. I won't go in with just the iPad. I always have at least the go bag. Especially if you're going far into a building, like if you're not going into a house, if you're going into a mall or a store or
Sure.
a school, somewhere where you're gonna have to walk, I always take the stretcher and the monitor and the go bag. I don't take the big bag with all the drugs and that anything, because it's a backpack, and
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, it comes down to the back of my knees, and I just don't like to carry it. So,
Yeah.
Everybody's
That's
a
also,
challenge.
you get in there and get scoop and go.
Oh yeah,
So.
yeah. You can MacGyver a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So you just need to make sure that you have a routine and,
Right.
figure out what you need to take every time. We always took
Right.
everything.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught.
Yeah.
You don't be caught without what you need. You have to have a good partner too. Good partners make your day so much easier.
Right.
Like the partner I have now, and most of the partners I had at Metro, the partner I had at Jefferson County, she was amazing. I can just look at them and they'll know what I need.
Right.
Or if I say, I need this, I might not call it what they call it.
But they know what
They know what it is. And it's funny because this newer generation, like, things that I take for granted, like learning how to split a hip. They don't teach that anymore.
Really?
They don't teach the cravats and the sheets between the legs.
Really?
Really, I've done it 3 times at Oldham County, and 2 of them with the same person. But when I said, let's get a sheet and some cravats, first they didn't know what cravats were, like the triangulars. So we got those, and I splinted the hip, and they were like, I've never been taught that. I'm like, how? That's like a basic skill.
Yeah.
Like it works
So they just
so
threw it out the
well.
window?
They just put them on a scoop or a sheet and move them.
Wow.
Which, to me, I think splitting the bad leg with the good leg stabilizes the
Sure.
bad leg to some extent. At least it's not flopping around. But it's so
Yeah,
much
I mean,
different.
that scoop, it's just,
It's just a generational thing, I think.
Yeah.
The new. I was taught on equipment that we don't even use anymore.
Right. Yeah, but if anything ever happened, then you had to refer back to it, you would not.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, I got a funny story about when I was in paramedic class. So we'll
Yeah.
talk about that later.
Okay. so you got to get in a routine.
Yes.
You got to pretty much know your partner.
Yes.
And give your partner a chance. If they're an EMT and you're the medic, give them a chance.
Teach them.
Yeah, they're not just ambulance drivers. Trust me. I hate when people say that.
Me too.
Because a good partner for a medic can do almost everything that medic can do when they need it done.
Yeah, EMT can save a paramedic any day.
Yeah.
Like, especially the ones that get honed in on just their ALS skills. If they think they're just there for the ALS aspect, which they're not.
Right.
You can't be a good paramedic without being a good EMT.
I agree. I think that's why you're so good at it, because you know where you started,
Mhm.
and a lot of the medics, and I'm not knocking medics at all, a lot of them think they've got that better than you because mine's a medic and you're
Right,
not. And
right. I don't-
that's not fair.
Right.
I mean, I learned a lot from every medic that I ever
Yeah.
worked with.
And I'm not above taking a BLS run-in.
Yeah.
Like, if my partner's done, a couple, and I've done nothing but
Right.
be her chauffeur, I'll take a couple BLS runs in. I'll take a female psych patient if I have a male partner, just for
Just
safety
so,
reasons, just so that, nothing. I'm not above that. I think a lot of paramedics think that they're above that, but you
do they
can't be.
feel like maybe they did it when they were
Yeah,
EMTs, so they don't have to do it now?
maybe. But you're still an EMT, no matter what.
I mean, because those skills as an EMT, that's your first.
Right.
I mean, you go in, what are you going to do?
You can't do ALS skills or
Right.
BLS skills.
So just give your partner a chance. Now, if y'all just don't click, maybe you do need a new partner.
Yeah.
But don't be like first day and be like, oh my God, I had the worst day of my
Yeah.
life. I'm not sure about this. You got to give it a chance.
You do.
You really do. I don't know. I liked all of the medics that I worked with, but I think I had a good time with Susan. Both of us EMTs running around.
Yeah.
We jump runs. We didn't care.
Yeah.
But it was a good time.
I've had a lot of great partners.
Yeah.
Even had one that we were pregnant at the same time. We
Right.
had kids that are 2 weeks apart to the day.
Okay.
And we worked until 11 days before Ryan was born on the street. Because we didn't have modified duty back in the 90s.
Right.
You either worked and got paid or you
Or
didn't
you
work.
didn't work,
When you ran
yeah.
out of time, you didn't get paid. So,
Right. Yeah, things have definitely changed.
a lot. A whole lot.
I mean,
For the better, I think.
I wouldn't
like-
even know where to even begin. No,
Right.
I mean, I probably do. It's just, there's probably a lot of stuff now since I got hurt that's on there that I'd be clueless about.
Yeah, we don't even have to do compression, just chest compressions hardly
'Cause of the-
ever. Because
yeah.
we have automated machines.
That's crazy.
And at Oldham County, we have ventilators. So,
Really?
we have an auto pulse and a ventilator. So, really, a full arrest can be run by a paramedic on their own.
Wow.
I don't suggest that,
No,
but
that's
Yeah.
interesting.
things have come a long way.
Yeah, sounds like it. Jordan comes home talking about stuff, and the whole time I'm thinking, would you do this? You do this? She's like, Mom. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I got hurt in 07.
yeah.
So I have not been working since then. 3 years ago, got disability because, obviously, I messed my shoulder up.
Right.
And that's let's just talk about that now. So we moved a 615-pound patient, me and my female partner. And I picked her up at the nursing home. She looked at me and said 2 things. Don't get hurt moving me. Don't let me go to the nursing home. Okay.
That's a lot of pressure.
Shortness of breath. She was shortness of breath. So, got all the stuff together. We asked the nursing staff to help us move her. Just move her feet. That's all I need. You don't realize how much help it is if someone actually guides their feet.
The legs never go with the body.
No. So, they wouldn't help us. So, we moved her, put her in the, I picked her up, put her in, picked her up, put her out. Back then, we didn't have the button to push.
No power beds.
Nope. Got to the hospital, Baptist, took her out, took her in, moved her, got ready to move her. 2 nurses walked in. I said, can you just got her? Looked at this person and said nope and left.
Oh.
Called for help 4 times. Even en route called. Nobody could come. Okay.
Oh.
So the very last move, I was on stretcher side. We moved, the bed rolled up underneath of her. I had to pick her straight up for her to fix the bed.
Oh, God.
That's when I tore my shoulder. Because nobody would help. If you have a large patient and they do not send help, blow their phones up.
Yeah.
Keep calling.
Things have changed a lot, though.
Yeah.
Like, we get help in the hospital all the time.
They would not.
Fire departments.
And that's the thing. We asked, can you send fire department? Would not.
Mm.
Our dispatcher would not do it.
I think that's why I can still work. I've had a power bed for the last at least 7, 8 years.
It made a huge difference.
Like, it's a huge difference. The power bed will lift 700 pounds on its own, so all you have to do is get them to the bed.
Right.
So, and I mean, you know, you can push the bed up against, you can push their bed up against the wall, put the stretcher beside it, both
Just
people.
pull
So,
on one side.
yeah, there are ways around it, but I joke and say that's the only reason I can still work.
What about the snow? Have you worked in the snow, Paula?
I do.
Paula-
like
Paula doesn't like snow and ice.
No, I have some PTSD with
I bet
ice.
you do.
Broke my ankle, broke my tibia in 2 places, and my fibula in half on the ice at Sport 17 downtown.
Was it
Didn't
all at the
spill my
same
Dr.
time?
Pepper though.
You didn't spill it?
Didn't spill my Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Yeah, I broke it all
All
the
at the
same
same
time.
time.
The day before I was supposed to leave for Atlanta for cheerleading.
Oh no. So was did you just slip on ice?
Yes. They had cleared the whole apron except where our ambulance was. And I slipped, my left foot stayed planted and my right foot slipped and I heard it snap in my head. It was a sound I'll never forget. Sport 17.
So you were actually down there?
Yeah, I was at work. Yeah.
No, I knew you were at work. I didn't know if you were like in the firehouse or what.
No, I was outside. We were going to move. But in my, the bonus part was I didn't get help for 3 months. I told the orthopedic surgeon he had 89 days to get me back to work full duty because I was not going to be represented.
No.
And I went back at 2 a.m. on my 89th day.
Really?
Yeah. I was supposed to have a brace on my ankle, but it wouldn't fit my boot, so I just laced my boot really tight.
Wow.
Yep.
So how you feel now?
Fine. I can tell when it's
When-
rain.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you can too. Yeah, I can tell. And if I'm like in bed and my ankle's throbbing, I just listen.
Yeah.
If I can hear the rain. Because I know it's raining.
Right.
Like, it just throbs.
Oh yeah, I can feel it coming before it's
It's
here.
throbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so bad.
Wow.
But it's titanium, so hopefully it won't break again.
Oh, well,
It's not my driving leg. I hope I don't ever break my driving leg.
I broke my knee when I was in like the 4th grade, and my knee now I can tell.
Yeah. The only other bone I've ever broken is my sternum. I wouldn't suggest starting with that one.
I was just saying,
Because,
you
know, like a toe, yes.
Yeah,
I would start with like a toe or a finger.
Yeah.
The sternum's not a good one to start with.
the knee's not either.
It's the
No. Oh,
Yeah, you don't realize how much you need your hands until you have to use them to walk with crutches.
oh yeah.
Like, you can't make dinner, you can't, I got like slide food from the microwave to the island and then the island to the table and hop around.
Oh,
This was before the knee scooters too.
right.
Like, things have come a long way.
Yeah, and it has. It's crazy to me how rapid the world changes.
I know,
I mean,
I know.
technology and just everything.
I know.
I remember you had to turn the porch light on to tell the kids to come in.
Yeah,
I mean, and you knew when it was
Yeah.
summertime, and
Yeah.
you knew if you didn't come home, you was in trouble.
yeah.
So,
Shoot, I was a Gen Xer. I was the first latchkey kids around.
yeah,
Rode the city bus to school, rode
Right.
back home,
yeah.
had my bus token. My mom and dad didn't, even contemplate I'd be kidnapped.
Right. No.
That didn't happen.
Now you gotta watch your kids on your own street.
I mean, my kids, when they were younger, we lived in a dead end, so we knew all our neighbors, so.
Well, that's how we
But we weren't outside. When they were younger, they weren't outside with us. They got a little older, they were.
Right.
Ooh, but when they start driving,
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Jordan's first shift in 24, I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm nervous wreck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm proud of her. She followed my footsteps, but I told her, I said, Jordan, if you have a choice, stay on Fireside, don't go to EMS.
Yeah.
And that's terrible, but I know how I feel.
Right.
And after being hurt, I don't want her to be that way.
Yeah. I have a lot of people say, you know, they're like, oh, my kids aren't going to be in EMS, but it was a great job. Like, it's been a great career. I raised 3 kids, you know, as a single mom, basically. You know, my kids did what they wanted to do. You know, I might have to fundraise, but, you know, it's not a high-paying job. It was a great career. I met lots of people. I have lots of friends.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a great career. I don't ever discourage my kids from doing anything that they want to do. No,
I don't either. I just told her, you know, hey, if you can stay on that side, because they still make EMS runs.
Right.
She's still getting all that.
Right.
It's just all the lifting over the years. But again, stretchers have changed.
Yeah, for us mostly. So.
Yeah, but stretchers have changed.
Yeah.
Everything's changed.
It has.
I mean, it has.